Hello, everybody. Day 3 here. So now we're going to be moving right along. So you talk to Allegra here. So you jump, get on your broom, dash. That's how you get up here. And then this next sequence, we kind of have to get a little used to. This is where you're going to want to move the camera more than the Mika to maintain momentum. So you go through these dashes here, these wind tunnels. You want to move the camera a little to the right, off, on, maintain momentum, end up to pick here. This is where we want to end up. So I'm going to show that again here, but I'm going to show a little bit more, a little bit more mellow strat here. So a little more beginner friendly next. So with this, jump, get on your broom, dash, come on up, dash again. So now, let's just say you just want to move the camera. We don't want to do that, see? And then you could still kind of weave in that last little bit. That's pretty mellow without having to maintain momentum and rubber broom a ton. So that's one of those things where moving the camera instead of moving Mika, you'll notice that you can get much faster times, because when Mika moves, it destroys a lot of momentum. In the beginning, I had a lot of trouble with that, so I know I'm kind of emphasizing it a lot. If you're having trouble with this jump dash, right, you could always do kind of the hybrid strat. Walk over here a little bit, get on the awning, get over here, boom. And then same thing, move the camera a little, move the camera, off, on, and then get a little dash in. We're going to dash straight to O-Pick here now. Boom. We'll talk to O-Pick, then we'll talk to Mune. Best character in the game. Mune is the best. Best design. So now, for this med kit, if you walk in the corner here, right, you can see that the Y will come up. That will interact with the hitbox of the med kit. So you talk to O-Pick, you walk in the corner, you hit Y, now you have the med kit. I have so I used to just try and be like boom boom, and you miss the med kit so many times. So you walk to the corner, hit Y, grab the med kit. So now we're going to dash in a straight line here. We're trying to get just to the right of that part of the ruin that's a little broken there, where the wind tunnel is. And we're going to ride the wind tunnel up. Good. Now we dash. So now this next part, so now what happens is you want to dive into this section. This is the section that kind of allows you to kind of boost off this next third here. So I'm going to show it. Hold on. So you dash here, ride this wind tunnel. We dash, we want to dive into the second part and then go neutral to get the little bounce off the third, puts us back up here. Hello. If you dash a little too soon, you don't catch it as much. So you really want to get this middle dash down, and then you want to go neutral. Because if you hold, I don't think you can, if you hold down the whole time. Oh, you still could. So you just want to dive, into, like I said, this middle third. Boom, and then you dash. So now from here, we're going to do a ring boing. So now, let me show kind of the mellow strat first here. You come up here, dash, let it take you all the way, and you hold kind of uppish a little bit, and then you could dash to here. So we don't want to go to the waterfall. So now I want to show it again in case you end up a little short. So we come up here, dash, kind of hold right-ish. You can get a refresh off this little green foliage here. So if we say, oh no, we're too low. So now we dash up here. If you kind of lean into the green, you can get a reset dash. So that's a way to kind of save the strategy. So now I'm going to show you guys ring boinging, which makes it where you don't fly anywhere near as far with the ring. So you'll see. So you dash, get on and off your broom really quick, and hold. Oh, nope. We try it again. Hold on. You want to dash, get on and off, and then kind of rotate the joystick a little bit. You can see my controller. Let's see if I can get it. Dash, boom, boom. There it is. And you can see that's a much tighter route. So it's one of those things where if you look here, I was able to, maybe about half to a third of the way, I was able to start redirecting here versus getting pushed all the way up to where the waterfall is. So I'm going to do it again here. So you dash, off, on, and then hold to the right, diagonal right-ish. And then, like I said, you can get just so much more direct here. So that's one of those things where this takes a little bit of practice, and there's like, you'll see that there's like, you get it perfect, you get it like medium perfect, sometimes you whiff it like I did. Dash, wait a second, get off and on your broom, up top right diagonal on the joystick, and then you come up here. Now we're gonna go to Yulu, dash, dash. If you want to get all cute and fancy, you could dash in between where the sign is. If not, not a big deal. So let's see if I can get it. Dash. Dash. Boom. One more time. One more time for the fans. Boom. If you dash into the left wall, you get it. It's a little cleaner. Here it is. So either way, you want to try and weave dashes in through this tunnel, which is tight and not that easy to do. We'll talk to you. That's going to take a little bit of practice. The timing is kind of tight, but it's one of those things where as you get used to it, it's one of those points where you'll realize, like, oh, I'm getting better at this game. Like when you could like dash tight and maintain momentum without bonking into the ceiling in the tunnels. Like not like that. So hold on, let me try it again here. So boom. Boom, like that, and you're able to get your dashes, but the top beams don't mess you up. So we talk to Yulu, we get the coal here. I like running over here. You jump, you drop down, and we get some dashes again. Try to keep everything as tight as you can. I got that bunk, and then we want to get to Mune. You could just ride this, and then we turn. We're gonna get a dash here, dash here. We're gonna dash straight to Mune there, but I'm gonna show you. With this, this is another opportunity to maintain some pretty good momentum with rubber brooms here. Let me show you. So, coming out, dash, let's say, and then we dash again. We're going to dash, and then once we start getting boosty, we're going to get off, get on. Hold on, I caught the sour spot of the wind tunnel. Let's do this again here. So, from here, coming out, dash. Dash, and then here it is. Boom, boom, boom. And you can maintain the momentum all the way past that rock. And then we're going to dash to Mune here. Good. Perfect. Talk to Mune. Great hair, great gloves. I love the aesthetic. She's great. Mune's awesome. Okay. So now we got to go down. We got to get the fire off the plane. We're going to do soggy plane here is the trick. So I'll explain it. If you bring a wet sponge to the door, it always works. So you don't have to do the little animation of like flying over the top to let the flames out. So from here, you want to dash to where the sponges are. Dash, dash, and then you want to drop down. Grab this sponge. I found it easy. So if you go from standing, grab the sponge, get on your broom, dive down, the sponge has a better chance of getting wet. So now we want to come here, come around. And then, like I said, we don't need to do the little animation. If you just bring a wet sponge to the door and hit Y, it'll let you do it. And then we're going to move right along here. Now we want to go under this plane wing. 2 dashes. Boom. Boom. One more. And then same thing here. Dash, straight line if you can. Dive, go neutral. And then dash. And now we're going up to Vanny here. Dash. Now we want to go all the way. See if you can maintain momentum. Off, on. Dash. Dash. One more dash if you can. Get a little boost from there. Good. And then we'll talk to Vanny. And then again, if you don't want to do any of the moment in the beginning, like I said, I don't even know if I recommend maintaining all the momentum because it's kind of tricky. You could just kind of go, just get 1 dash in, drop down, wait a second, 1 more dash, get the little boost from the wind tunnel, and get to Vanny. So with this configuration, you have 3 items here. You are going to drop one that is not the sponge. So you have to be cognizant. You have to remember to pick it up after we talk to Vanny. She's going to give you the vase, you'll see. And then I think it's the coal. Let me see if my noodle's working. Yeah. So you drop the coal. You need the coal. So now we pick up the coal. We're going to boing off these boxes here. Dash. Get another reset. Oop. Boing off the boxes. Dash. Get a reset off the rock here. Yep. Dash. And we want to go straight line over the top here. So now, this next part, right, you can do the broom bounce to get over that tree if you do it perfectly. If not, you're going to splat and you're going to drop all your spaghetti. So you're going to see here. Let's see if I can get, and you got to just get all your items back. You come off it. See if I can get it. Boom. And you can go right through this V here. Kind of on the tight end. If not, all you have to do is kind of drop down, right? And then from like here, let's say, you could just dash over, or sometimes when you land, sometimes it's, when you're on your broom, it's better to kind of come down under, which is fine. Dash. And we're coming off to Alex here. Boom.
Hey.
There's another thing where you could be as aggressive or conservative as you want with that. Yeah, you'll get the timing better of when you can get on your broom and not like splat. When you splat, like I said, all your items go flying. So you have to, over time, you could kind of dial in how aggressive you want to get as you get more used to getting on the broom without dropping and splooting. So we'll A, B all the way here. We'll B to get past. Once you see ride, that's the last text box. That's what I use. And then we're going to talk to the Crowfessor, Gene Paul here. Get the canary. You grab the canary. From here, you could just get on your broom, and it'll kind of bring you under. We'll dash. We'll dash. If you want to be really tight, you could dash and get this there, right? If not, we can just dash here, drop down, and then just kind of coast in nice, which is fine. Talk to Ovell. He's going to give us the Astrolab. Astrolab. Where's Down Dog? There's a dog here. Where's my boy Party Animal? He's usually by the docks. That's okay. Shout out to Squabbles, at least. Alright. So we're going to move forward. We're going to dash to Allegra now. This is a little tight there. You have to kind of cancel your dash a little early to get so you don't bonk into the Squabble sign. And then you get the reset. If not... Oh, there's Down Dog. If not, you could just go wide of the Squabble sign, which is fine as well. So, boom, wide. And we're just going to dash to Allegra. Shout-outs to Down Dog over there. Boom. Shout-outs to Randall over here. Talk to Allegra. Then we're going to go up back to Yulu. We're going to do the glitch called Cognary, where we talk to her when she's supposed to have like an interaction bubble, but we actually are able to talk. You're not supposed to be able to talk to her. And what happens is the game thinks you're talking to her at a later point. So you skip delivering the cog. So same thing. From Allegra here, you could jump, dash. If not, you can get on that awning and do the double. So now for here, you hold dive, and after the second one, you could actually dash up and get to the third, because we want to get height here, but we don't want to be out of the wind tunnel. So one more time, you get into the second wind tunnel, you dive to get low. Right after the second one, you dash. Now we're at the very tip. You can come to here, dash, catch this edge, and then rubber broom across, and now here we are to Yulu. Or the other thing you can do is if you just go kind of medium-ish through the wind tunnels or low, then you don't have to. So if you come here with like medium-ish, then you could wait, and then you're low, but then you could dash up. You got to bounce into the rock a little bit there, and then rubber broom off if you want. We have to ring boing to get up to Yulu here. Let's see if I can get it. Boom. Wait a second. Off on. There you go. Hold kind of diagonally. Get your dash. Okay. And then we're going to get all the way through here. So now you can dash one more time. I just want to show this. You want to be mashing whatever your talk button is, but you don't want to be close to the vase there, because if you pick up that water bowl, sometimes it makes it where the item you drop gets glitched and you can't pick it up. And then it kind of ends the run a little bit. So you want to hug this wall. For me, it's Y. You want to mash Y. And then you could just A-B normally. And like I said, that is talking to Yulu when you're supposed to just like get the bubble forced interaction. So now she thinks it's later, and then we give her the the canary, and then also we're like, oh hey, how about this cog? And she's like, yeah, cool, no problem. Shout outs to Nixie for finding this. This is crazy. So now, from here we want to get down to Kiala next. You hold B, and then you can move right from here. So now, there's a couple ways to do this. This next section, the Kiala jump, is pretty tight, so don't get discouraged. This takes time. I still botch this in my runs. So you do 2 dashes here, and you want to dash into this rubber broom, and then you see how I had momentum coming off the mountain there? So if not, the other way to do it is, and I'll show you once we get to that mountain part. So you come here, dash, dash, see if I can get it twice in a row. You dash in here, get off, get on, get off, get on, and you want to come off with momentum. So if we do it a little bit more beginner-friendly route, we go this way, we come just off and on. No matter what, you want to drop down low here, because you fall so much faster than you are. The broom moves, so it saves a significant amount of time just the falling. So let's see if I could just nail it perfect so you guys can see what happens. So dash, dash, little on the corner here, dash, boom, nope, See, my momentum got squashed there. So sometimes you have to kind of just thread the needle, which is, like I said, this isn't the end of the world either way. I just want to show it right one time so everyone has an example of perfect here. Boom, boom, and then you want to fall all the way. Get on your broom, dash, and then you want to get a reset off this here, and then we could talk to Kiala. No matter what, you want to fall down pretty significantly and get the reset off that one, the close platform there. Then we're going to talk to Kiala. We're going to AB. When we get the chance to share, we're going to say no. Saves a couple of text boxes. Her text box, flow tree, like the way it works, you get, if you say no, you get less text box from her, so it saves a split second. So keep it, and then we move right along, and then I'm going to show how to get up to the factory for the next section here. Good. So there's another one where there's a lot of branching paths in terms of if you want to go a little more beginner, a little more immediate, or a little more advanced. I'm going to show just the very beginner route that I used to do. So get on your broom, dash, get a refresh here, going to get another refresh here. You want to be to the right of this little vase, big vase. You want to be low, you get a little boost from the wind tunnel, dash, and the tree gives you an extra dash here. Boom, and you end up top here. So that's one way to do it. And then the other thing too is I'm going to show the other strats. If any of the other strats don't work, you could always come back here, get the reset off the wind tunnel, dash, and then dash off the top of the tree again. The hitbox for the top of the tree is a little bit higher than the tree itself, so there's like a little phantom hitbox you can get. So now that's one way, and the backup way, and then I will show the intermediate way, and then I will show the holy guacamole crazy tight way. So, we're on Kiala here. We're going to get off, dash, dash again. We're going to get this boost. You want right after this tree, you want to come up, do a little twirl on this wind tunnel, and then we're back to where we were. That's much faster because you get the momentum from the meadow wind there. And then the final way is to do like a super mega bush boing. So, you want to take the meadow breeze all the way to that bush straight out, and then you want to dive a little bit, and then super mega bush boing off the bush. You want to air a little to the left. Let's see if I can get it on the first try here, because if you air a little to the right, it's not as forgiving. So you definitely, so dash off, boom, get on and off, and now we're here. We're going to hold dive in a bit and air a little to the left. So I did not get it. This is a good showing of the backup shot. So if you don't get it, then you come to here, like I said, boom, and then we dash up, catch the phantom hitbox, dash up. The amount of backup strats in this game are amazing. It's just simply amazing. Let me see if I can get a good one to show, though, here. To the right of the tree, dash down, boom. There it is. I'll show it one more time here. Again, so practicable. It's one of those things where you got to get a little used to it. Air just one touch to the right. Like I said, that right wall is more forgiving than nothing on the left side. To the right of the tree, dive down a touch, boom, boom, dash up. Can we get it? Nope. That's it. You do the the tutorial video, can't hit nothing. You watch my world record video, I hit it like great. So it's like, oh man, that's life. One last time. Let's try it again. See if I can get it just to show it. There it is. That's it. Boom. And then we dash here. You could get an extra dash on this platform. Extra dash here. Now we got to talk about the factory. So, all the different ways of the factory you will get to here no matter what. So this is one of those things, again, where a lot of different ways to get up here. So, you end up on this bush. We'll do the most easiest route by far first. So, we'll do, you could dash here. Off and on. Dash. Dash. We get over to here, right? And then you jump, dash, and then we're here. So now from here, you're gonna jump, dash. You want to hold your dash for a while, and you're gonna get a dash on the most kind of like upper third of that yellow pipe. So jump, hold, dash. You get the bounces, and we can end up on this silo here. From here, dash, and then we dash. We get up to the top here. Boom. So now I'll show that again, just full sequence. So we're here. Boom. Dash. Jump, dash. Jump, hold. Dash up. Boom. Get up to the silo. Boom. Dash. Boom. Dash. Get the refresh. Perfect. So that's one way to do it. Now, there's another way. Like the YOLO Dolo way is to dash. Hold on. Let's go back to here. So we're here. Dash, get off and on. Dash. And then from here, if you're one Mika away and we boing off this metal piece, you could go... You have to hold your dash for like a second. It's the same kind of thing. And then you could go yellow pipe, blue pipe, and then one cycle the factory. So let's see if I could get it here. Boom. Dash. Yellow pipe, blue pipe, dash. And you end up a little short. Hold on. Got to get a little bit better of a boing off the collar here. Boom. Be a little short maybe. Boom. 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 There it is. And then... Again, this is one of those things where it's kind of vibe-based. You got to get used to it a little bit. It's definitely not the most consistent. It saves the most time, though. If you get this perfect, it definitely is the fastest way to get up the factory because you don't have to deal with the silo. Boom, 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 like that. And then there's an intermediate kind of way, which is a little tricky also that I did for a long time. So you could dash here, get off, get on, dash, and then from here you dash, you get the reset on the Y of that tree, and then you can come on up. So let me show you that again. That one's kind of medium. That's like medium tight. I definitely recommend doing, I did this strat for a very long time where you're here and you jump. So you will dash here, this is dash, boom, and then dash, and then from here you want to get right in between the Y of that tree. Sometimes you get the reset, sometimes you don't. That's the tightness of it. So, but again, you can just keep practicing here. So we're here. Hold on. We're here. We're not anywhere. Let me go back. Broom bounce. Then we dash. Get the reset this time. Yep, dash. And then you can deal with the silo. Boom. It's a little bit more direct because you don't have to... This, as an intermediate strat's better because you don't have to mess around with traveling over to this part. This part. There's a spaghetti throw. So let me see if I can... Let me get up to the factory. Then we're going to go to Vanny here. See if I can do this cool. Look cool on the internet. Boom. Dash. Good. And then we're going to go to Vanny. Boom. Boom. Dash all the way to her. This is the same thing. We do want to say no here. Because it saves... I think Kiala's 1 or 2 boxes. And this is maybe 1 box. And we do it one more time. With Andros saves about a text box, I think. Okay. Perfect. Factory takes a lot of practice. One of those things where that factory is one of the trickier parts of the run, no question. And there's a lot of other different ways to get up the factory. If you watch Heart Moon, he does it like where you would go off the... There's like a little tent. So you go tent, then you do yellow pipe, then you do silo. So it's one of those things you have to experiment with. Without a doubt, the one cycle is the fastest. All the other ones are kind of a little bit more, like, you know, you're going to have to... decide when you're ready to kind of try and one cycle the factory, but that's later when you know what I mean, as you get more comfortable with the run. So from here we dash, one more dash, and then you want to drop down just to the right of the shallow pipe. You get your refresh, dash, 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 and then you want to be a little to the left if you can. See if I can get the good spot there. And again, none of those, you don't have to do any of the dashes or the refreshes for any of that sequence from Vanny to OPIC. So it's one of those things where over time, I just kind of show the route that's like quite fast, and then you could just do little portions of that. Then we mash AB here. This is called Too Quick with OPIC. The game thinks we're at the factory setting as far as savings, which is interesting. So you give them the Astrolab, you mash menu, menu, and then we can main menu here. Continue. And then we're going to be back on the factory. Too quick, we don't pick. Yeah, the game is broken up into regions, and for some reason, when you go into the water, it still thinks you're in the factory region, so it's so much faster than dealing with going through the water to get back up here. So from here, we dash, get off, get on, come on down. See if we can get some rubber broom, save some time here. If not, you can just go normally. Rubber broom, boom, dash. And then we're going to go to Allegra here. You could do it, like I said, with rubber brooms or without here. This we've kind of done from the overtime. Boom, boom. Here. Boom. Let's see if you could split the trees. Perfect. We talk to Allegra. And then we're going to go to Andros here. We could jump. We're going to jump dash, or we could do the awning into the roof. So we dash, dash. This is very similar to the overtime way. So now this one's going to be a little different now. So we come here, and we're going to come off the roof. Let's hold to the left. You can maintain your momentum there. If you get it perfect, that's something that's very practicable. I practice that a lot. It's one of those things where sometimes you get the sour bounce, sometimes you get the good one. You want to be a little to the left of the of that roof there, so you can get all the way to the beach. We talk to Andros. We say no. Yeah, Mika's not that nice in any percent. We don't share any of the toys, which is fine. Okay. Next, we're going to show you how to get up to the roof. So this is the more beginner route. I'll show you guys. Here's what I did for a very, very long time. Jump, dash, and then just short of like the middle of the beach, you're going to just go all the way up. You get to here, you dash, you end up all the way up top here. So just short. I use kind of like the shadow of that tree. You want to be just short of that from like a verticality perspective, like a horizontal perspective. I mean, I'll show you again. Here, boom, dash. You see that? Just short of that. Boom. Good. And you do want to get you want to wait until you hit the wall to get the most height, and then you want to hold your dash for a second. You definitely want to do a broom bounce where here. You're going to get off your broom, and you're not going to get on your broom right away. You're going to get a little more height before you dash. And you go to here, you dash up, and then we're going to get right back to Allegra the way we're used to. A little more advanced strat, a little trickier is to do you boing off this little rock cliff here. I'll show you here. So we start here, get on your broom, dash. You have to dive a little or get off just to get the reset there, and you can get back on this roof here. Dash, and you catch that extra dash, and now we're back up here. Let me show that again, a little tighter. This one I recommend practicing though, but definitely use the basic strats. But this one's not crazy. This one is not crazy tight. Dash, dive a little to get the reset. Dash up here. Dash, boom, dash, and now we're back to what we're used to. I do recommend dashing into this wind tunnel because it makes the rubber brooming a lot easier. And then Allegra's a little closer, so we want to be here on this one. Now we're getting ready to go to the ice cream scene. I'll do ice cream with this video, and then the next video I'll talk about the ending. And this one you always want to mash a little bit longer than you think. I'll show you with ice cream. There's always one extra like text box that like dribbles into ice cream for some reason, so I'll show you here. So, hold on. You mash, and we tell Soot to leave. So that extra one there. And then you hold B. And then we're going to straight to Brahm here. Going the right route's a little bit faster because the twins to Allegra is faster than O pick to Allegra at the end. So from here, we go straight, jump, mash jump, whoop, straight line, down dog, party animal. What's up? So for the ice cream, we're going to mash the Y button for me. And we could hold them all. So we go to the end, and we just start mashing Y. You hold them all. Start making your way to O-Pick here to the right. And then we see if we can get it. Good. Me and my brother call it ice cream RNG. It's like sometimes the O-Pick depends which ice cream you have active in when you're cycling them. So sometimes you could talk to him, sometimes you can't. You have to do like another loop. So we grab it here. We pet down dog. Not part of the run. Just gotta pet good boys and girls. Moving along. Straight line here to Alex and Cecil. Or Mom. And then one thing, you're going to do straight line to Yulu here. Sometimes you want to be cognizant. I'll show you. You could feed the cat and lose some time. So you want to, you can't be mashing the talk. So hold on. So if you go straight line here, you could talk to the cat and lose some time. So you want to wait until you see the Y over Yulu. So if you mash, like I said, you're going to get caught. There's the Y. Here you go. Then we'll talk to the twins. And like I said, we go this route because twins to Allegra is faster and there's less, we can kind of jump around stuff compared to O-Pick. So that's why we go this way. Shouts to Randall. Randall the rabbit. Talk to the twins here. Chocolate ice cream. And then we're going to hold kind of like diagonal here. You jump here. Jump to past the tree. And then jump. And one more jump. And then we talk to it over here. And that's it. Ice cream is good. As far as moving forward here, you want to hold B. And then the second one comes up really quick. It's like one Mika bounce and then B. So it's one of those things where that loading screen happens so much faster than the others for some reason. It used to catch me off guard all the time. Good. And now we're here. We're going to do... That's going to be the end of this video here in a second. And I'll see you guys in the next one.